All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here. Excited about your choice and your decision to build your business. And that's what it's about. It's about the choices that we make that allow us to create change and transformation as we choose to be entrepreneurs, especially in this industry. So, super excited about being able to have a conversation with you today to help you just expand your mindset and give you the toolkits necessary for you to be able to have the success that you want and you deserve. So, as we're going through this conversation today, the great things about network marketing, aka the relationship marketing industry, I want you to kind of wrap your mind around and understand that there's so much here, so much value in this industry, and there's so much that you can take advantage of that can create change and transformation for you, build generational wealth, and it's all about making a mindset shift. And that's an important piece. When you understand and recognize the value and the importance of learning and growing and how that will impact you, it will allow you to see the world through different eyes. And so, what I'm excited about is the fact that no one can ever tell me anything about this industry that will ever persuade me differently because I am that all the way in based upon my understanding of how remarkable this industry is. And so today we want to give you some tools to help you understand how this industry can and will change your life once you recognize the value of what this industry is able to do and the benefits. So let's begin with the first one, low startup cost. I know the network marketing industry, in the network marketing industry, you can own a business for under $400. Now that's remarkable in by itself. In most cases, less than that. And most people don't fully wrap their minds around the low cost to get started. In the traditional business world, that's almost impossible for you to do. Many people who want to start a business of their own can't afford to do it because of the high startup costs. Our industry has leveled the playing field. So anyone who wants to start their own business can afford to do so. Most traditional business owners invest at minimum $10,000 to $100,000 just to start a business. Plus, they have a huge monthly overhead cost, and they must work 60 to 80 hours a week or more just to keep the business going. Despite the huge capital investment and hard work, most traditional businesses still fail. And in fact, they say 9 out of 10 fail within their first 3 to 5 years. And with network marketing, there's practically a zero financial risk. Now, this is important. I want to make sure you understand that because if you understand the minimal risk and the minimal startup cost, it completely puts things in perspective for you to understand why this is the industry to position yourself to take advantage of. Now, number two, second is leverage. Now, this leverage piece is something that a lot of people really don't understand. And again, I get it. We've been programmed and trained to be employees. So you can leverage yourself and build a huge sales organization of independent reps and customers. Now, this is huge. You can earn a small commission from each person's effort. That is much better than just getting paid from your own efforts. In most traditional businesses, you need a ton of capital and employees if you want any kind of leverage. Not so in network marketing. I like what J. Paul Getty says. He says, I'd rather make 1% of the efforts of 100 people compared to 100% of my own personal efforts. See, your mindset here is to build a team that allows you to be able to capture more market share. And when you understand that powerful piece, then you don't worry about this thought process of how hard you work by yourself. You build a team and recognize the power of the long-term ramifications of everybody doing a little bit, which means that you're able to benefit from all the efforts of the team that you've been able to build. So then it's not just about your efforts, it's about building the team that helps you capture more market share and takes the effort and work out of your own time because you only have 24 hours in a day anyways, right? That to me is huge. Number three, I love this. No geographical restrictions. Now, this is a big deal. Many people don't realize this remarkable value proposition that's being shared here. You can work your network marketing business from anywhere in the world. Yep. If you have a phone, internet connection, and a desire for more, you can build your business. You have an on-the-go business. You can even work from home. In addition, you aren't restricted to a territory, a state, or in some cases, even your home country. Compare that to a traditional business where you are typically stuck in a physical location. This is huge because what you understand is that what we're looking for is the ability to have freedom. And number three is basically saying you have freedom. I had a conversation with a woman that really blew my mind. She had a Chinese restaurant she'd been working in for 15 years. And she said she hadn't gone on vacation for even one single day in 15 years because her and her family had to be there day in and day out to run the business. And what I love about this is that you're not stuck in one location. You can travel the country and the world. You can have the freedom to be on the beaches of the world while you build your business and also be able to work from home as well. Really phenomenal. This is one of those powerful things that you may not realize is powerful, but it's huge. That's number three. Number four, no income ceiling. Now, this is a thing that the average person really has a hard time wrapping their mind around because we've been programmed and taught that, quite frankly, there's only so much money you can make. With network marketing, the sky's the limit. While there is no guarantee you will succeed or make any money at all, you have the potential to make as much money as you want to. And that's important because in most cases at your job, you'll have fixed amount of hours that you can work. And as a result, there's a limit to how much you can earn. There's no prejudice against your race, religion, gender, political views, or age. It doesn't matter what your education level is. There's no office politics or need for kissing butt. It doesn't matter if you grew up on the right side of the tracks or whatever. This is a true merit-based, huge. You get paid based off you and your team's production. That's it. You might make millions, you might make nothing at all. For anyone that's driven as a producer, it's awesome to have no income ceiling at your job. Listen, you could work incredibly hard in an hour, you still get paid your hourly rate. You could work incredibly hard in a week, extra hours, and maybe they pay you overtime. But in most cases, it's salary and you're gonna get paid what you get paid no matter how hard you work, whether you were on Amazon shopping or otherwise, you get paid the same. Within this industry, we allow you to be able to decide how much you want to make. Your efforts are rewarded. Your production and what you choose to do is rewarded. And that by itself is remarkable. Number five, residual income. Now, this is the magic bullet, I say, in our industry. This is what truly sets us apart. Everyone knows the value and the importance of building assets. And that's what's so amazing about this industry. This industry allows you to build an asset because of the residual income. You have residual bills, right? Your bills come every single month. It's not you get to ever pay off your cell phone bill or pay off your internet bill. You have to, you could put $1,000 towards it today, but tomorrow, after that $1,000 is all used up, you're going to have to still come back and keep paying, which is why you have to have residual income. That's why you need it. This is the money that comes in month after month for something you did a long time ago. Now, doing something once and getting paid on it over and over again is a complete shift in mindset. As a result, everyone needs residual income. It gives you the options and helps you sleep better at night. I mean, think about it. If you knew your bills were covered no matter what, because of what you've done for years, I'm curious to know, wouldn't you sleep better, right? I mean, this makes sense. And it gives you options. That's awesome. Here's those options change everything. This is much better than linear income where you have to keep trading hours for dollars. What's best about network marketing is that you can earn a leveraged residual income, meaning that as you build a team, as your team continues to capture market share and builds a customer base, you keep getting paid. This is why building a massive distribution network is your goal. The most important thing that you recognize is that your asset in this is the relationships you build and helping others to win so that they can achieve and have success. If everybody does a little bit, they're making money, you're making money, everybody wins. Building that passive residual income will completely change your quality of life. Number six, low monthly overhead. Now, this is interesting. Most businesses are very expensive. No one talks about this when they talk about entrepreneurship. People don't really have this conversation, and that's because everyone kind of buys into this get rich quick kind of mindset where they just think that automatically do a business, there's not much to it. And that's because most people have an employee mindset. But if you understand business, most businesses spend thousands of dollars per month just to stay in business. Yes, that's right. They have huge monthly overhead costs, which include payroll, rent, insurance, utilities, inventory, etc. I mean, if you think about any real business, we all know that they got to cover the cost of their employees, they got to cover the cost of the building. There's all these things that people don't talk about that are a part of what it means to build a real successful business. Now, I want to be very clear. When we're thinking about businesses, we're not oftentimes thinking of big businesses. We're thinking of small business. So you think of a business you have at home and you think that, well, I don't have much that I need to do with my overhead. But the difference between those two businesses is that the business that you exchange dollars for hours just is actually a business that you own. Will actually, you kind of own your own job, right? You don't really get that real leverage benefit. But when you have employees give you that benefit, right? But with employees come these other expenses. So for you to get the real financial freedom, you need to build an employee base, right? That's not the case in our industry. In most cases, your monthly overhead will be less than $200 per month to maintain your business. And that includes products you purchase for your own personal consumption. And that's important to pay attention to. Your overhead costs includes you utilizing products for yourself, as well as, which is cool, you covering whatever expenses for running your business. If you think that's a lot of money, you probably shouldn't be in business, right? $200 a month is not high expense. It's so important for you to wrap your mind around what it means to minimize that overhead cost for your business, because it means that it maximizes your profitability. And that needs to be a complete shift of mindset. Number 7, no employees. Now, I was just talking about employees, right? Just mention this whole concept, right? And I want to make sure you get this. To generate the real money, companies and corporations have to have employees. It's not optional, because that's how you're able to capture market share, right? You hire people that go do the work, and by kind of divvying up the responsibilities, you're able to get more done. Just what it is, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a corporation providing services, a sales team, it's just what it takes. And if you've ever done with employees before, you'll be thrilled to know that you won't have to worry about employees to grow and manage a successful network marketing business. Many entrepreneurs would rather pull out their fingernails than have employees. For most companies, employees are an asset, but they're also a huge liability with tons of headaches and heartache and frustration. It's a constant churning issue and challenge trying to find the right employees. So in this case, what's awesome is that you can build a business that generates and creates the same kind of income without the same stress, worry, and headaches that come with employees. It's a big deal. Number 8, the people. Now, here's a whole different shift, right? Because what's amazing is that you still get the ability to be able to associate and build relationships with people without having the headaches of them being your employees. One of the things I love most about this industry is the community. You get to spend time with other people who want to create a better life for themselves. You get to hang around people who have dreams. You get to hang around people who uplift you, encourage you, and bring out the best in you. Even better, you get to choose who you sponsor, sell products to, and work with. You can't say that about coworkers at your job. And I think this is important for you to wrap your mind around. In this case, you get to pick the people that you're able to associate with. That's amazing. To build relationships around people that challenge you and push you and encourage you and help you to be your best self. That's an important piece of this industry. It's one of the most powerful pieces that people don't realize. The community you surround yourself with really does dictate your success, your growth, and the level of that you actually are able to attain and achieve. Most people don't realize how important it is to have a community that helps to build them up, helps to challenge them, helps them to grow. Number 9, personal development. Speaking of growth and development, this is a huge deal. I mean, this is the best thing about network marketing, the network marketing industry. Personal development, the skills you will learn will help you to, in many areas of your life. You'll learn how to set goals, how to lead people, how to communicate effectively, how to sell, how to inspire others, how to manage your time, how to run a business, and countless other things. These skills will benefit your business, your relationships, dreams, and your career. Some people say our industry is nothing more than a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it. And that's exactly right. I love that mindset, because if you understand this hugely important piece of the puzzle, it will completely change and shift your mindset. Understand that, unfortunately, the current environment, your job environment, is not focused around personal development, it's around career development. Your growth at work is really focused around the company's bottom line and the company's benefits. But in this environment, not only are you growing to help your business thrive, but you're growing so you thrive as a whole individual. The books that you read, the trainings, and all the different things that are a part of your lifestyle in this industry really is focused on helping you to just elevate and be your best self. Be and live and fulfill your greatness. And that's huge. It, to me, is one of the best things about this industry. And it's one of the best kept secrets. The average person does not realize how invaluable this is and how much they're missing it until they experience it firsthand and recognize what can come from being around folks that want you to grow and get to your best dreams. Number 10, time freedom. Now, this is something that the average person really doesn't understand. And I think it's one of those things where we don't really recognize the value of time. Time is our most valuable asset. And the wealthy get this. They understand, they do what they need to do upfront so they can actually have time freedom as soon as possible. Their most valuable asset is time. Time to do what they love doing, time to spend time with their loved ones, time to be able to utilize it in a way that most benefits them. So during the first few years of your network marketing business, you need to work really hard, like really hard. You'll put a lot of work, and you might not make a lot of money during that time. That's normal in any business. If you build your business right, it will be much easier to maintain in the years to come. And that's business in general, across the board. The fact of the matter is that the average person doesn't understand that, again, because they don't understand what it looks like. The average business owner understands you invest in building a strong foundation that takes substantial amounts of time, effort, and energy. And the long-term payoff is so invaluable that it's worth the investment. So many top earners in our industry only work their businesses a few hours per week just to provide training and stay in touch with a few of their key people. Most people who own a traditional business have no exit strategy, no exit plan. They must keep working harder and harder year after year. Of all the successful entrepreneurs I know, personally, the successful network marketers live the best lifestyle. So you see a lot of very wealthy individuals, but what they don't have is time freedom. They may have financial freedom, they don't have time freedom. They find that as they build their businesses larger, it requires and pulls more from them. And it's about understanding that your focus should be both time and financial freedom. The wealthiest individuals, when they finally get to a certain place, and it takes them a lot longer than it does when it comes to building a network marketing business, they finally get to a place where they have enough capital to invest, where their investments can now give them that time freedom. But they've had to work so many years, so hard to get their businesses to a certain place. Whereas with network marketing, what's awesome is that this industry, you put the time, effort, and energy to build a strong foundation. And then what it takes to maintain your business is a completely different quality of life. And once you get that, it's a game changer. Now, the other side of network marketing is an important part of the conversation as well. Now, this is when you understand that there's always two sides to every coin. There's some things that I want to talk about that I think are important for you to pay attention to and be aware of, because they set the tone for you to kind of understand why you might get some pushback or you might find some tension when having conversations with others about this industry. And this is important because, sadly, some of the things that people have internalized aren't true, number one. And number two, have to do with the fact that the average person, unfortunately, won't take personal responsibility for their choices, for their behavior, for their lack of discipline, for their lack of drive and determination, for their lack of willingness to be able to do what it takes to have success and achieve. And here's what's interesting. That's across all industries. It's not just our industry. The difference is that it's easy for folks to talk about this industry because it's easy to access. So our industry is not made for those looking to get rich quick, or if you have unrealistic expectations about what it takes to build a successful business. To be honest, there's no such thing as get rich quick in any legitimate business. I'll repeat that again. Getting rich quick is not possible in any legitimate business. When you hear about get rich quick or hear about these overnight successes, what you don't know is the years before, all the foundational work that was done that wasn't easily seen or recognized, but it's always there. And for those that have a flash quick of success, just as quickly they find their businesses fail and fall and go under. Most businesses in the real world take at least 3 to 5 years to be profitable, and 5 or more years to build a solid, stable income. That's important. Our industry is simple, but it's not easy. Don't confuse the two. The steps to success are clear. They are easy to do, but they are just as easy not to do. And that's the part that most people don't understand. They're so simple and easy for you to do that it's just as easy and simple not to do it. Chances are this industry will be the hardest thing you have ever done in your life. And I want to make sure that kind of settles in so you can hear the words I'm saying to you. That's the way it's been for me. Anyways, no question about it. It's my experience. Even though it can be hard, it will be worth it. And I want to make sure you get this. If you're willing to do the work, do the hard things, the reward is always worth it. The challenge is, are you willing to do the things that are difficult? The reason it's so hard for most people is because, first, they've never owned a business before. They haven't mastered their people skills. They're comfortable enough financially, they won't step out of their comfort zone and risk failing. People struggle to deal with delayed gratification. They don't have any sales or marketing training. They have unrealistic expectations. They don't have the discipline to work for themselves. They don't have much money invested in their business, so they don't treat it seriously. It's too inexpensive to start. That's the biggest challenge. And these things don't make the industry bad. Instead, they help explain why so many people struggle. So oftentimes when you hear someone that's saying something negative about the industry, any one of these things, oftentimes are the reason why they just didn't achieve. And it's oftentimes much easier to blame the industry, blame the company, blame the compensation plan, blame the products, say something about everything and everyone else, as opposed to talk about yourself, right? Look at the person in the mirror, right? That's the struggle. And so it's easy for folks to say and have these conversations. What's bad about our industry is the low cost to join. This means anyone can join. That's a blessing and a curse. Because it's so inexpensive to join, we attract a lot of non-qualified people. Even worse, there is no screening process to eliminate non-serious candidates like there is in the traditional business world. For example, if you wanted to buy into a franchise, they would do a background check, a credit check, and you would need to produce a substantial amount of money to invest. Not so with network marketing. And I think that's really important to pay attention to. There isn't this screening process. So anyone can just jump in because the price of entry is so low. And then when it doesn't work out because of not the company or the industry, but because of the individual, obviously the blame is being placed on the industry as opposed to taking personal responsibility. Whereas most traditional businesses and franchises, when you're looking at being at the top level, because that's what this is, you're now the executive of your business. They're going to make sure you go through this whole screening process to see if you even qualify for them to give you that much responsibility. And many people don't qualify. Many times folks try and they're not allowed to have these opportunities because they don't qualify. Our industry is really misunderstood. And I would agree that 100% of the people not involved in our industry don't really understand it, or they would be involved. And I want to make sure you get this. And this is really important because if you really understand some of these ugly things about our industry, it'll shift your entire mindset completely. Like you'll see things differently. So the worst thing you will hear about this industry are posted by anonymous people on the internet. Anyone can set up a website and write whatever they want, even if it's just for their opinion. And it's not a fact. While some of these stories might be true, you must question the validity of something when it's 100% anonymous and not justified with any data, or if the person has an agenda to write something negative about our industry just to get website traffic, to promote an affiliate product, or sell their own anti-MLM book, right? And that's important to pay attention to. What's the agenda of the individual that's sharing their thoughts and perspective? Why do they care? And you'll find that most legitimate business people, I mean, major names like Robert Kiyosaki, Sir Richard Branson, Darren Hardy, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. I mean, there's all these major business names that Les Brown that you'll hear, right? They promote the industry. They promote the industry. They have nothing but positive things to say about it. And if you think about it from that perspective and hear a lot of the big names in business actually promote the industry, you have to wonder, well, if the folks that are already successful and making large amounts of money are either invested in the industry or promoting it, what's the purpose behind those that are choosing not to do that? So we're the only industry in the world that I know of where people start a business, quit in less than 90 days, say they were scammed, and then set up a blog to talk about it. Think about that, right? You don't hear anybody say that about I started a McDonald's, and even if the McDonald's failed catastrophically, no one goes out and creates a blog as to why that didn't work for them, right? Could you imagine someone owning any other type of business and quitting in 90 days or less, let alone create a negative website about it? I don't think so, right? No real business person quits a business in 90 days or less. No one does that. This is not the reality. No one does that because a business owner understands it takes time to grow a business. I mean, for those of you that watch Shark Tank, you see all these business owners that are taking years to build their businesses, many of them from scratch, and they've invested their life savings into this business. And it's important to understand that when people come into our industries, which is so easy to get into, it's easy for them to now just as quickly scrutinize and criticize and say all these things. But again, what's their objective? What's their agenda? Pay attention to what's being said and why it's being said. Just realize a few things. I mean, this is important, right? First off, most people you will talk to have never even had even 1 hour of instruction about owning their own business. And this is pivotal as far as your mindset in regards to what it means when you're having conversation, you're talking to an individual about being business owners. It isn't taught in most homes, schools, or universities. Most people have simply been taught to be an employee. Everyone has an employee mindset. And if you understand that the entire system is focused around that, then it completely shifts the way you think because you understand that you're not like everyone else. And come on, you know the deal. Get good grades, go to college, get a secure job with the government or a big company, and retire when you're 65. When you talk to prospects about becoming their own boss, you need to understand this. People are hardwired to be employees. It's what it is. The system has been created to create employees. It's a capitalist system, and a capitalist system needs employees for it to be able to run. It doesn't need a bunch of business owners. It's a small amount of business owners with a bunch of employees that work for them. That's important. So you also must realize that our industry does not spend money in the media to advertise, not normally. That means that media has no incentive to endorse our industry. I hope that makes sense to you, because you have to recognize that if it's not endorsed because it's not a part of what creates income for them, then why are they going to promote it? And that's how most things move, right? Most things that are supported are financially supported, and the finances are where the time, effort, and energy and investment goes. This industry focuses on investing in those that do business with it, right? So the business owners are the ones that are invested in. You build your business, you get paid remarkable amounts of money. And the industry does not focus its time on investing money outside of the industry to try to promote the industry. And that's an important piece to keep in mind. Next, you must understand that most businesses of any kind fail. Depending upon what source you cite, nearly 90% of all businesses fail within their first 5 to 10 years. And that's important. So when you understand, it's like they say 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years, right? And then when you understand that then of those that make it that time, 90% of those businesses will fail in the next 10 years. So keep in mind that the people who own these businesses have invested an incredible amount of money, and they were building their business full time. Despite that, they still failed. Now, when that kind of sets in, you hear about so many people working to build so many businesses, and so many of them fail, putting everything they have in it, blood, sweat, and tears. For you to understand and put that in perspective, it completely should shift the way you think about what it takes for you to build your business, right? And the fact that this industry takes away a lot of the things that put others at high risk, right? A lot of things we've talked about, and we talked about those benefits. Those are things that oftentimes cause people to fail in business. But you don't have to worry about a lot of those things in our industry. We take a lot of that hardship and challenge away from you, so that you get all the tools you need. So now it's just about your decision, your intention, your growth that will help you to achieve and have success. It's true. And I think this is a really important piece of the conversation that a lot of people don't want to really talk about. They don't really want to understand, or kind of wrap their minds around this. Most people who join our industry will not make profit in their business. Now, once they hear this is not one of those things where people like to hear this. Don't let that scare you, though. Most traditional business owners don't make a penny of profit their own for several years in their business as well. Like, if you can kind of recognize and understand that that's entrepreneurship as a whole. As a whole, entrepreneurship is not an industry where just because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm just going to make money. And that's the hardest thing for people to wrap their mind around. The truth is, it normally takes several years to build a successful business of any kind. Now, with marketing, you can lose money, but it wouldn't be much compared to a traditional business owner. Even better, the sky is the limit with how much money you can make in network marketing. You can make millions, but you might not make anything at all. Individual results will always vary. And it's going to be a decision and choice that you make, right? You'll decide your success. The commitment and dedication you put to your business is entirely up to you. You might even hear stories about people getting divorced because of their businesses, losing their health, and ruining relationships with friends. Some of these stories might be true. Anything is possible. But I would argue is that there's probably much more to the story than what you hear. And you could argue that those same points about any type of business or career. I mean, we've heard the same stories, right? Whether it's major art entrepreneurs that we all know them by name, or career-focused individuals that have had the exact same experiences. So when you choose to focus in on something and you're laser focused and you put a lot of time, effort, and energy in, there oftentimes will be a sacrifice that's required. I'd like to close out this section on a final note. The major reason our industry has had a bad reputation is because of uneducated and ignorant distributors. We've ruined it for ourselves, honestly. And I think that's a really important piece to kind of highlight. We've had so many people join our industry with unrealistic expectations. We had a small group of people do shady and dumb things that ruined it for everyone else. And when you understand that, unfortunately, that's what happens oftentimes. You have a small group of folks that really undermine an industry. They do terrible things, they do awful things, and they become the norm as opposed to them being something that is something that's out of the norm and that's abstract and is a rarity. In essence, it's our own fault. That's why you must take the responsibility to be a network marketing professional and build your business the right way. And I think this is really the focus that I want you to really kind of walk away with. If you can wrap your mind around this important concept, your success, your achievement is entirely up to you. It changes the entire ballpark. It changes the entire game. It helps us to have things and put things in perspective. You get to decide if you want to become a professional. And becoming a professional in any industry requires an investment of time, being committed, putting in the work, making the sacrifice. It is a choice and decision that you make. So what we want you to do today is take these pieces that you can understand about this industry and allow them to help inform your decisions and your choices as you choose to build your industry and build and have success with us in this industry. So with that being said, grateful for your time, blessed to have you with us today. And hopefully something that we'll share today really puts you in a position to really understand where you sit with this incredible an amazing industry. God bless.